was one of the best natural ports identified not by the present generation people but for the last many centuries. In fact, even in a lighter moment, in a joking way, I can say that our rains used to make the roads of Panjim like Venice only. Our bridges don't last with gold medalist engineers, architects. They don't last for 16 years and 15 years. They gave prominence to shifting that capital from old Goa to Vasco, to Mormunga. Unfortunately, today we are, this treasure of ours, we are using it like a dustbin. People are throwing things inside the canal.
Hi, friends. Welcome to the new podcast series of Heritage Connect. This is Yogesh Nagvinkar here for you. Today, we are having a very unique and a special episode on a very special subject. And we have a very special guest with us, Sri Sanjeev Sardesai from Panjim. Sri Sanjeev ji is a botanist. He has done his botany in Dempe College of Panjim. He has been born in Porvorim in a village which is well connected with people at one point of time. He runs two organizations. One is Hands-on Historian and Sense Critic. These organizations are being developed by Sanjeev ji to create an awareness, a realistic awareness about the heritage and the cultural diversity towards the people. Welcome, Sanjeev,
Thank
to
you
our
so much.
podcast series.
Thank you.
Today's episode is dedicated to the Panjim city.
That's
And
nice.
I felt there is nobody better than you who can take it up.
Thank you.
And the subject that we are going about is from Panjanhalli to the Panjim city, which is the capital of Goa.
Yes.
The first question that I would like to ask you is the river Mandovi is just next to the Panjim city. So, how has the Mandovi River shaped the history of Panjim?
Beautiful question. Thank you so much, Yogesh Bab. Anywhere in the world, a river line has been the lifeline of settlements. The rivers have been connecting the peoples from different part of the world to certain areas which are very important for marketing or for various different reasons. When it comes to Mandovi and Panjim, to be very frank, this Panjim, which had the name Pahajanikali or Pancham Khari, that's what I feel would have been the word. Pahajanikali is related to trade. Any ship that would pass this particular point had to give a tax, which would be a curry. We would say full na pakri, that time a curry, a tax that was
A
collected.
revenue?
Revenue for that particular land. Pancham Khari possibly must have been an identity because today, if we look at Panjim, there are 5 different streams over here. The 2 major ones being the Santines Creek, the Rua do Ore. You have got one on the other side at Ribandar, and there are 2 or 3 other ones. So today, when you look at those Pancham Khari, this may have got the identity for this particular land. Talking about Mandovi being very important for this area, which we call today as Panjim, it was basically for trade. We must understand that Goa was one of the best natural ports identified not by the present generation people, but for the last many centuries. Ships would come in port because from storms they would like to stay away from there and trade. And Goa being placed so strategically, it was very important militarily also. Now, talking about Mandovi, we'll talk about that later. But this was a very important mouth of opening a trade
Hmm.
that gave Panjim a very important status.
Is there, as we speak about Panjan Halli, Halli means a village, and Panjan, as you described, there is some reference which is saying there has been a copper plates found. How far is this
See,
true?
there are copper plates that have been found over here, and the mentions are made, but they may not be directly in context with the city as such, because here there was nothing. This was just marshy land.
Hmm.
It was a small hamlet which was being used by fishermen
Hmm.
to keep their boats.
Okay.
The Arab dhows that used to come, they used to be pulled up. The people used to be staying over here. It became a city only somewhere at the beginning of 1800s. It has not the plates and all
Hmm.
referred to this place
Hmm.
because the ships had to pass this place
Hmm.
into a place called as Ellapuri,
Hmm.
where there was the capital that Adil Shah had, and earlier to that the Kadams were trying to have.
Correct.
Yes.
Sultan Adil Shah has been having his summer palace right in the center. You can see on the coast of the Panjim city. So, what do you think we have some more hidden treasures with regards to?
Oh yes. In fact, the first building that has come up here in this area, from records we can find that it is the Adil Shah's palace.
Okay.
Now, when we look at Adil Shah's palace today,
Which year this might have been?
this was in 1500s.
Okay.
In 1500, they say that this palace was built.
Hmm.
But when this palace was built, it was not in the shape that we see it today.
Okay.
Neither was the topography like that.
Hmm.
Uh, if we look at this building from a drone shot, or you go to a simple common man can go up to tourist hostel and look down, you will find that it has got three very specific roofs. There is a C-shaped roof in the beginning, there is a O-shaped roof in the middle, and then there is one I-shaped at the end. Now, I'm specifying this is because this C-shaped roof that is there, that is the palace of Adil Shah. The O-shaped one was joined to this sea when the Portuguese shifted their capital from Old Goa to here to set that thing. And the I-shaped one was added somewhere in 1973 when the 30 MLAs became 40 MLAs and that place became very congested. So they had this assembly MLS NXC that
Okay.
was built over there. Today, when we refer to that palace, it is the entire thing. It is not so. The first is that, but that is not the main thing. The beauty of that palace was that towards the east side, that is where we have the Bahu Sahib statue,
Yes.
there was a river.
Hmm.
It had river on its north, that is the present day river. It had water in front of it, that is where Bahu Sahib's thing is. And between the palace and the Directorate of Accounts, that place also had water on it. Now we can see that, or we can prove that particular aspect is next to the Secretariat or Adil Shah's palace was or is the house of Casa Social, the Kamoti Mamai or the Mamai Kamat house. And between the Secretariat or the rear of the Secretariat or the south side of the Secretariat and the Fazan, when we go on the road, we see a door in front which is in a U shape that allowed the boats to go inside with the goods.
Beautiful.
Now, people will ask me, so how can I say that the boats used to go there or whether the boats were going over there? Good point that they will be raising. But that is answered when the Mamai Kamath family was digging behind in the courtyard for developing certain things. They found a canoe inside, buried canoe, with a head of Mahavir. So small head of Mahavir, which today you can see in the Museum of Goa, and it is dated to 4 AD.
So we had Jain trading here.
We had lot of, in fact, Jain. We had Jains here from 300 BC.
Wonderful.
When the Gupta Empire was here,
Yeah.
200 BC and all, we had Jains over here, very good influence of Jains. Then we have got the Buddhist influence here, all the caves that we see over there. Then afterwards, the influence of Kadams was seen over there. But yes, we did have Jain, Buddhist, and other communities here.
There is always a mention of a secret tunnel from the Adil Shahi Palace to the accounts department that we see today.
Yes.
Tell us something more about it.
I think secret should be left a secret. But the secret was related to a particular reason. When the king stayed at one place, he had many wives. He had a harem. Now, all the wives were not staying in that particular place. He would, call his favorite one on the side. Like I said, that there was water between the secretariat and the fazenda or the directorate of accounts. So whatever the tunnel was there had to be underwater. So they would be staying on the other side, and whenever they wanted, they could have come. But as of today, we have not found any trace, or nobody has done research to find that tunnel over there.
Said it is collapsed today.
Possibly it may have collapsed. Talking about tunnels, but this may not be directly related to Panjim city.
Yeah.
But there is still a tunnel in Goa which is 5 kilometers long, and it has a shape where people can walk inside.
Are you serious?
We have not yet done any research on that. But if you do research on that, you may find what you call idols inside. You may find arms inside. You may find skeletons inside.
Is
We
this
don't
in
know.
Panjim?
No, it is in the old capital, that is Old Goa.
Interesting.
It starts from Gumanteshwar temple going right up to Dauji, bifurcating on the way. And there was proof, because when I mentioned this to certain technical people, they made a fool out of me. But when the highway was being constructed, I was taken over there to say that what you had said was right. And they didn't find one tunnel. They found the tunnel which I had explained. And they found another tunnel which was 2 feet by 2 feet. So there is a different study altogether. But the point of making a mention of it over here is that there was technology before the Adil Shahis to construct tunnels.
So
there is possibility there is a tunnel over
So
here.
you reject that this tunnel was done by Adil Shah? Or
No,
was
it
there-
may have been done by Adil Shah.
Yeah.
But when we say it was done by Adil Shah, it is not Adil Shah who will come and dig the
Yes,
ground.
absolutely.
It will be the technical people who are there.
his civil
So
team.
those people who are there building tunnels in Goa, they may have been used to make this tunnel.
What might have been the significance of making Panjim as the capital in 1843?
Well, to be very frank, I can say that Panjim being made a capital was a default.
Okay.
It was not a design. Because when Old Goa or Ellapuri, what we know as Old Goa, that was repeatedly having epidemics, plagues, diarrheas, diphtherias, yellow fever. Thousands of people were dying. They gave prominence to shifting that capital from Old Goa to Vasco, to Mormugao.
Okay.
They constructed a palace, which is still there.
Yes.
And it can be prominently seen in Dr. P.P. Shirodkar's sketch that he has done for the exchange of prisoners of war in October 1943.
Have you been to that palace?
I have been to the palace.
Wonderful.
In fact, I have been to the palace, and MPT office was operating in that particular thing until they constructed and it is in such a beautiful shape.
Okay. So
You have
this
to
was
give-
the Viceroy's palace?
It could have
be.
been the Viceroy's palace, because if it was a capital,
Yeah.
then they would have shifted everything and one part would have been kept, because it has got fortifications on either side.
Wonderful.
Beautiful. And the staircase, very regal. And frankly speaking, that should have been made into a beautiful museum. But since it is in a sensitive area
Yes.
of MPT port, they may have to do something. But when they went to Mormugao, shifted, they realized that their control on the Bardes area, the north area, and the central part
Hmm.
would be diminished, because if there was an attack, they would have to cross the river to go on the
The
other side.
Marathas were the major
The
threat.
Marathas were a major threat, or it could have been the Mughals also.
The
You
Dutch
know,
were a threat to
no,
Portuguese.
Dutch had already diminished by 1800s and all. Though they were there, but they had demolished. The Napoleonic Wars and all were not as much as
Yes.
that.
Yes.
Then they realized the importance of coming to this middle peninsula, what we call as the Tiswadi Taluka, which incidentally is the biggest inland island of Goa.
Hmm.
Tiswadi is the biggest inland island of Goa, with Mandovi on one side, you have got Zuari on one side, and you have got the Kumarzoa Canal on the other side.
Yes.
So this is an island. So strategically, militarily, it was very safe. So they shifted over there.
Tell us more about some unknown heritage sites of Panjim. Of course, I would like to hear more about Gaspar Dias Fourth.
Um, it is very sad that we stay in such a historic city, which was which was given the status of a city by a proclamation on 22nd of March 1843. We became a city. Okay. Over a period of time, there were so many heritage inputs and artifacts that were put up here, which are visible. This is not something that I am just talking out of my head, but something those are visible. And in a commemorative magazine that I made for the Rotary Club of Panjim, they were completing 15 years. So when they approached me, says, "What about the history? Why don't you do?" I gave them an option to put 100 different heritage items about Goa, 100 years old. So we have got lots. I'll tell you a few things for your thing. When the Portuguese thought of shifting the settlement into Panjim, the first place that they selected was in Mara.
Okay.
It was called as Mosmi Karache Bat. Mosmi because this person had come from Mozambique. And it was a huge place which had coconut groves. And it had a natural fountain. So they developed that fountain and they named that fountain as Font Phoenix. Now again, that Font Phoenix has got a meaning for that. What is Font Phoenix? Phoenix is a mythological bird. When it becomes old, it burns itself, and from the ashes a new bird is born. So look at it very graphically and very poetically. A capital had been totally decimated, what we call as Old Goa, and a new capital was coming up from here. So Old Goa, and they named this as Nova Goa, so New Goa. And in that place, they constructed tunnels. Tunnels, because they didn't want to go to the spring. They brought the springs down by constructing these tunnels, and the tunnel is used every year during Chaturthi time to have a art exhibition inside the Ganesh and all. So water started the settlement area. So we have got one heritage point called as this. Now exactly on the other side of the hill, in between there is a hill called as Altino Hill. There is another spring on the other side called as Boca da Wag. And very sarcastically, people don't know how to pronounce things in Portuguese. They call it Boca da Wag, a rear of a tiger. No, it is Boca da Wag, mouth of a cow. That is because somewhere where they had broken a temple, they had found a Nandi head with a mouth. So they had come and put it there, and the mouth, the water would flow from the mouth.
Which is a common sight seen in most of the temples in Kadambara.
So they called it Boca da Wag.
Interesting.
Now there is, why I am saying this, since you said it's a heritage thing, is there is a tunnel which they were constructing, which they have left halfway through. So now the question arises, were they trying to connect both the tunnels from this side?
The tunnel is still existing.
It is still existing, and it is beautifully done up by the CCP. Nice. In the rains they close it, but you must go inside and see they have put a glass.
Restored.
Very beautifully restored. Then the other heritage that we have in Panjim is in 1829, when Kampal was being developed by Campo Manuel de Portugal y Castro, the viceroy at that particular time. what he did was, there was a cannon that was lying in Old Goa brought from the fort of Banastari.
Hmm.
He brought that and he kept it over here in Kampal.
The biggest cannon of Goa.
No, it is not the biggest cannon only of Goa. When he put it over there, people didn't realize the importance. But today we can very proudly say that it is the only cannon of its kind in Goa and the oldest of its kind in India.
Interesting.
It is not a cannon that they have poured and molded into a cannon like all the other cannons.
Correct.
This is made by almost about 2.5 inches to 3 inches thick metal plates have been bent.
Okay.
And they have made into
So it's
this
a ring
cannon.
cannon.
It is made by rings of this particular thing. Unfortunately, today we are, this treasure of ours, we are using it like a dustbin. People are throwing things inside the cannon.
But what might have been the intensity of that cannon? What kind of cannonballs were used?
From the size, it was about this big, and it was lying on the fort of Banastari. And when they took over and they saw it after about 70-80 years, they found that it could still be fired.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So today it is very nice, beautiful, and it has got markings on top.
Was it ever used, or did people lose
no,
their eardrums?
I am not sure that it was used because
we hear these stories in Jaipur.
Yeah. It is on that particular fort. There is no such thing as a battle except when they went and took over the fort.
Yes.
From my knowledge, it was literally handed over. There was no battle as such because they knew they were outnumbered.
You would like to know more about Gaspar Dias Fort?
Yes. Gaspar Dias Fort is one of the 4 forts that were built by the Portuguese during the Napoleonic War. They were in 1599, the first armada of the Dutch came and they blocked the mouth of river Mandovi almost for about 2 months. They didn't allow ships to come in, neither to go out. So the Portuguese realized that there was a time that we need to protect the mouth of the river. Miramar was a marshy area which was used to burn people, kill the old horses. It was a marshy land disconnected from the mainland.
Okay.
It was connected much later. From the drawings of Antonio Lopez Mendes, I can place that fort to where Marriott is now. Because the only place where the bank goes this way is at Marriott, no other place. So it couldn't have been at that rotunda in Miramar. Though the cannons were found over there.
Okay.
One cannon was lying behind a gado that was there. So, and there are 2 more cannons which are brought and kept here at Abe Faria Square. 2 more cannons are supposed to be in front of the archive, the smaller ones. So this particular fort, I have made a model of that fort now and put it in Gaspar Dias. This was built somewhere in 1500, towards the end of 1500, 1600. But that land is supposed to have been gifted to a man called as Gaspar Dias for something that he had done for the Portuguese king over here.
The
loyalty, it was given to him. So that whole area was called as Praia Gaspar Dias.
Okay.
And interestingly, this is very interesting, the name Miramar was given by the bus conductors.
Oh my God.
It is not officially given by anybody. It is given by bus conductors.
Okay.
And the story is this, that this area, the original name of Miramar is Pidduk.
Pidduk,
the black bead that the ladies wear, Pidduk.
Yes.
Once it was given to Gaspar Dias, it was called Praia Gaspar Dias or Beach of Gaspar Dias.
Okay.
Belonging to Gaspar Dias. Now, somewhere towards the 1940s and all, there was this man, Mr. Roncon, who constructed a small hotel over there.
Okay.
And he named that hotel Casino Miramar.
So they were a casino at that point of time.
But when we talk about casino, please don't mix up between the casinos that we have today. During Portuguese time, gambling was not allowed. Casino was a place where they played cards, different games of cards, no betting. It had a ballroom.
Yes.
Okay.
It is more of a recreation area.
More of a recreation area. Miramar, incidentally, is a beach, name of a beach, on the east coast of Argentina.
Oh,
Miramar means the image of the sea. So he used that name, Casino Miramar. So everybody would say, come, let's go to Praia Gaspar Dias, Praia. Then the Dempe College started.
mhm.
So these conductors who would call the students, say, Praia Gaspar Dias, Praia Gaspar Dias. And somebody came, he says, why call Praia Gaspar Dias? There is a hotel over here. Let's say Hotel Miramar. So they would say Hotel Miramar, Hotel Miramar. After some time, that hotel collapsed.
So the
So now
landmark,
called to, why call hotel?
yes.
Let's say Miramar. And that name stuck.
So the landmark became the
The name,
place,
identity
name
of
of the
that
place.
place. Yes.
Very interesting. Nobody knew about this.
So we have to
fact,
credit
yeah.
the bus conductors and their shouts to Miramar name.
Very, very nice. Interesting. One last question, Sanjeev, would like to put up is so was Panjim designed likewise in European cities, or can it be restored to its original glory now?
Let me answer your last question first. It cannot be brought, it cannot be even thought of to bring the old charm back inside over here. And answering your first question, there is a need to retain whatever the signature buildings are there
Hmm.
in Panjim, to retain them as our heritage treasures. Now, I will tell you your question, what you asked me about the infrastructure here, basically.
Yes. Because I'm asking you specific because this looks the rivulets that are there, the waterways, they look very similar to Venice.
Yes. In fact, even in a lighter moment, in a joking way, I can say that our rains used to make the roads of Panjim like Venice only. Everything used to be filled up with water. But that is a overdevelopment that we have done.
Yes.
Now, the reason why Portuguese shifted the capital here and what they did over here is very interesting.
Okay.
Because every engineering aspect that they have put has lasted for centuries. Our bridges don't last with gold medalist engineers, architects. They don't last for 16 years and 15 years.
Yes.
Unfortunately, 11 bridges have fallen in 10 days. Unfortunately. But look, let's give credit to those, to the Portuguese.
Yeah.
What they built at that time remained. The city of Old Goa was capable of taking a load of around 40,000 to 45,000 people at any time. And this is something that was told to me by the late architect, Lucio Miranda.
Interesting.
One day when I was talking to him, he says that place was meant for 30 to 40,000 people. Okay. But because it was a trading center, almost about a lakh and a half of people used to stay there. So the sanitary infrastructure that was there was overloaded.
Okay.
And it broke down.
Okay.
So when they constructed Panjim, the sewage system which we used up to 1995-96, or even till 2000, was put here by the Portuguese when they were constructing this place. Talking about Western concepts that were used here, 100% they were used. Yes. But much before the West used them, like the grid pattern roads. Today, if you go to US, you go to any way, they have got roads going from one way to the other and then crisscross at 90 degrees. And in between, they call them as the blocks. Panjim is perfectly like that. Chandigarh came later.
Yes.
Okay, but the grid pattern roads were put by the Portuguese here at the beginning of 1800s. The sewage system was put here by the Portuguese in 1800, anticipating a increase in settlements.
Interesting.
Not to the extent that we have gone today. They expected the city to grow horizontally, not vertically.
So are we in a mess today?
We are not in a mess. We are putting ourselves in a mess. It is basically a foresight that is required.
Correct.
The whole point of deaths or epidemics in Old Goa was garbage and the sanitation.
Yes.
Today, when I walk or go with a car on the roads of Panjim, that is the capital city, I see black spots over there. People are throwing garbage out. We are heading back to the same complexities that were faced in Old Goa.
So in case the citizens become active today, we can get back to the glory?
Oh, can I rephrase that question for
Absolute.
you? If the citizens get no, The citizens must get active today.
Yes.
It is time that they come out and they decide that government is of the people, for the people, by the people. It is not meant that I vote and I sleep. I must be active also. So it is my responsibility as a citizen. I'm not pointing a finger to anybody else. If I can change, the change will happen itself.
Fantastic, Sanjeevji. It was fantastic having a conversation so open and so informative. And we would like to have such more conversations with you with our more episodes upcoming. Thank you, friends, for watching this episode of our Heritage Connect podcast. Do like, share, and do comment on our comment section. Thank you very much.